नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं दैवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 1, Chapter 10, Text 24. Sava ayam sakhi anugita satkhatho vedeshu guhyeshu cha guhyavadibihi ya eka isho jagadatma leelaya srajati avatti atti natatra sajjate. Please repeat. Sava ayam sakhi anugita satkhatho vedeshu guhyeshu cha guhyavadibihi ya eka isho jagadatma leelaya srajati avatti atthina tatra sajjate. Sava ayam sakhi anugita satkhatho vedeshu guhyeshu cha guhyavadibihi ya eka isho jagadatma leelaya srajati avati attina tatra sajjate. Saha, he, why, also, I am this, Sakhi, O my friend, Anugita, described, Satkhatah, the excellent pastimes, Vedeshu, in the Vedic literatures, Guhyeshu, confidentially, Cha, as also, Guhyavadibihi, by the confidential devotees. Yah, one who, Ekah, one only, Ishah, the supreme controller, Jagat, of the complete creation, Atma, super soul, Leelaya, by manifestation of pastimes. By manifestation of pastimes. Srajati, creates. Avati atti, also maintains and annihilates. Na, never. Tatra, there. Sajjate, becomes attached to it. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Oh dear friends, here is that very personality of Godhead whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literature by His great devotees. It is He only who maintains, creates and annihilates the material world and yet remains unaffected. Purport. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, all the Vedic literatures are glorifying the greatness of Lord Sri Krishna. Here it is confirmed in the Bhagavatam also. The Vedas are expanded by many branches and sub-branches by great devotees and empowered incarnations of the Lord, like Vyasa, Narada, Shukadeva Goswami, the Kumaras, Kapila, Prahalada, Janaka, Bali and Yamaraj. But in the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the confidential parts of his activities are described by the confidential devotee Shukadeva Goswami. In the Vedanta Sutras or Upanishad, there is only a hint of the confidential parts of his pastimes. In such Vedic literatures as the Upanishads, the Lord has expressively been distinguished from the mundane conception of his existence. His identity being fully spiritual, his form, name, quality, and paraphernalia, etc., have been elaborately distinguished from matter. And therefore, he is sometimes misunderstood by less intelligent persons as impersonal. But factually, he is a supreme person, Bhagavan, and he is partially represented as Paramatma or impersonal Brahman. Om Tat Sat. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-chalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshadarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. My dear friends, here is that very personality of Godhead whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literatures by his great devotees. It is he only who creates, maintains, and annihilates the material world and yet remains unaffected. These are prayers of the ladies who have gathered on the rooftop of the Dwarka palace, and Krishna is exiting. He is moving towards Dwarka. At that time, everybody, out of a sense of separation, feeling of loss of the association of Krishna, they are serving him intimately, and being in womanly bodies, these ladies cannot do that intimate, close service. So they are ascending to the rooftops and they are seeing Krishna, and there they are amazingly admiring Krishna. And it seems from these quotes that they know very well he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they are describing his function as a Supreme Personality of Godhead and reveling in it. And they know their great fortune that they are able to have eye-to-eye contact and have association of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. To know the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to be able to see him and to be able to offer your obeisances and prayers and recognition of him is indeed a blessing. Because sometimes you can know Brahman, you may not know the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes you may know the Super Soul, you may not know the Bhagavan. And sometimes you may know Bhagavan and still you may not be able to render service to him. Sometimes you may render service to him and may not have achieved prema. Sometimes you have achieved prema and you are in ecstasy of complete realization of the Supreme Absolute Truth. So all these permutations and combinations are possible according to the will of the Lord and according to the qualification, the adhikar, the yogyata of the particular devotee, especially in terms of his inclination towards devotional service. So here we see ladies who are not able to savor direct service to the Lord because they are in womanly bodies. But their realizations are so high. They know Krishna to be the Supreme Absolute Truth. the supreme reality, the only reality. And so here they say, my dear friends, here is that very personality of Godhead whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literature by his great devotees. And Prabhupada is commenting here that Shukadeva Goswami is that great devotee who has described the confidential pastimes of the Lord. And the Srimad Bhagavatam is such confidential literature. And inside that is the great confidential secret of who Krishna is and what are his pastimes, what is the meaning of those pastimes. You see. So even Krishna Katha, you can hear stories of the Lord. You can hear stories of the Lord, but if you're not blessed with hearing the stories of the Lord from a pure devotee, you can even hear a story and conclude Mayavad philosophy. In Kerala, it's very rampant. Lots of people who come and sit down and hear Katha, and at the end of the so many days, the person will conclude, after all, what is there? Everything is God. Everybody is God. It is simply a transformation of the self. Blah, blah, everything. It destroys the whole 7 days program. Bhagavata, they call it Saptaham. Bhagavata, finally, they just conclude the opposite. And one person even went ahead to say that I don't need to worship, you can all worship the Lord. I'll be waiting for you to finish your worship and then I'll speak about the Bhagavad. I don't need to worship because I don't believe in a form of the Lord. And he's opening the Bhagavatam and he's going to speak. And the bulk of the people are going to hear. And somewhere in the back of the mind they don't like his behavior. How can you say that? But they have to tolerate it. And they have to hear him. So although you may have the Bhagavad and although you have the Katha in front of you, although you may be a great Sanskrit scholar, you cannot understand Krishna. It's confidential. It is not enough if you simply browse the pages and see the black and white print and be able to produce by rote everything. You're captured by Krishna's illusion. And you may not understand the content of this. You see. Just as much as if you analyze the language, each letter, each word, then a sentence composition by itself don't give you the meaning. It's just a juxtaposition of different letters put together, boom. It in itself doesn't make the meaning. But when you read it and then it hits you, the meaning is inside you. It's generated. If you analyze this one sentence, doesn't mean anything unless you're consciously looking into the sentence and the meaning dawns on you. By the combination of those letters and words, the sentence makes a particular meaning. By itself, the meaning is not there in the book. But you get the meaning. And that is a super soul. That is a super soul. You see. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattaha smritirjnanam apohanam cha. Vedaisya sarverahameva vedyo vedantakrit veda. Ved that shloka. Sometimes I thought the first two lines are very different from the last two lines. It's completely disconnected. No. Through me only you will get realization of the Veda. I am compiler of the Veda. I know the Veda. By all the Vedas I am to be known. And I am situated in your heart too. I will give you the understanding. Right? And if you did not want me, then where will you get the understanding from? Where will you get from? You will simply speculate. Right? And your speculation is as much as me reading any sentence and thinking anything about it. Because your understanding is divested of the Lord. You see? But these ladies, they may be ladies, they may not be greatly scholarly, they may not be everything, they understand this, that in all the Vedic literatures, it is He who is to be known. His confidential pastimes are described. They know it. They know it. And he says, not only he who creates, maintains and annihilates the material yet remains unaffected. So they know all these things about Krishna. You see? So it doesn't matter materially in what situation you are in. Simply by your devotion to Krishna, Krishna will be pleased and reveal everything to you. Same way, the Brahmana's wives, the Brahmana Patnis, Brahmanis, they were very simple in their understanding. They, as soon as Krishna, the Gopas came and said to them, Krishna and Balaram are here in the forest and they are hungry. They like to get some food. Instantly they were enthused to go and perform service to Krishna. That is the meaning of having Krishna with you. Instantly they knew they have to do this. This is a great opportunity given by Krishna. Whereas their husbands, they couldn't see. They just couldn't see that this is an opportunity to render service to Krishna, and Krishna and Balaram are here. So in that amazing episode, amazing pastime, we can see that the Brahmanas, they were so puffed up and proud and they lost the opportunity. Whereas the ladies grabbed the opportunity with a very simple-minded expression. They immediately took all the sacrificial offerings, it seems, and went straight without listening to anybody. The husbands stopped them, they didn't hear. They just left. And they saw Krishna to their heart's content. They gave him everything that's necessary. And Krishna blessed them, you see. So, later the Brahmanas, they appreciated the fact that they were able to, that their wives were able to see Krishna, serve Krishna, and that they were so foolish that they couldn't see the opportunity. So they were saying, to hell with all our sacrifices and yajnas and mantras and tantras. What is the use? Our simple wives who can't do any of these things, who are very simple-hearted, they were able to go and serve the Supreme Absolute Truth. What is the use of my yajna, homa, mantra, my high line, my parentage? Janmaishwarya Shutashibir Yedamanam Athapuman Naivarhatim Abhidhatum Vai Tvamakinchana Gochara. That very simply the wives were able to achieve that. Simply we can see that here, although they are ladies, we may think sometimes that they are not very intelligent. But you can see these ladies are super intelligent. Because Krishna is giving them Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamam Upayanti Te. Because they know Krishna. And they know in the Vedic literatures it's mentioned about him only. And they must simply give themselves up to him. They know this. This is the essence of Vedic literature. And it is not very difficult to know if one has love for Krishna. If one doesn't have love for Krishna, then he is torn by his intelligence, his mind, and he has to work a very hard way up. Klesho dikataras tesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham. It's a very strenuous path. So, understanding Krishna is something that Krishna himself reveals. It's not that something we will capture by our own effort. What really sadhana does to us is not just increase our knowledge and our ability to capture Krishna. That's not what sadhana does to us. Rupa Goswami very clearly states that using your natural faculties of your senses, if you serve the Lord, then bhakti awakens independently by itself. It is not that somehow in the back of our head we think that the sadhana and the strong effort that we put and the shlokas that we mug up and the page to page content that we know and all that content oriented stuff that we know and knowledge, K-N-O-W, know so many things. That's what constitutes realization of the absolute truth. You can have tons of it. You can have a lot of it in your head. And still bhakti can evade you because bhakti is independent of all these things. You see. Nasadayati mam yogo. This beautiful shloka from the 11th canto. In the Guru Ayyappan temple it was mentioned. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Now somebody came and changed that. Amazing shloka from the Bhagavatam. Krishna is saying, you will not get me through sadhana. Na sadayati mam yogo. What is it? Neither by yoga nor by gyan. Yatha bhaktir mamorjita. Forget the shloka. As much as a person who renders devotional service to me, right, and pleases me the most, you will not get me through sadhana, through jnana, through any of these things. So somewhere we think that I will perform my sadhana very, very well and that's it, my responsibility is over. I can sit down and wait because I have done my sadhana. You see, you have done your sadhana to awaken your love for Krishna. After awakening your love for Krishna, you have to exercise that love in devotional service. Then that love grows. That's why Lord Chaitanya is telling Sanatana Goswami, you must understand Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. This is what the Veda is teaching you. See, Veda Shastra kahe Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prema, Tinera Mahadhana. Related to that, by Sambandha, you get to know Krishna, that I am a spirit soul, I am connected with Krishna, I am a part and parcel of Krishna, etc. By knowing that, you perform devotional service. Initially, the devotional service will be in the form of sadhana, abhideya, execute, using your senses. Rupa Goswami says specifically using your senses. You execute devotional service. And there if we become lazy or we become inattentive, then we may not move up. Krishna Bhakti means devotional service. Krishna Bhakti means actually performance with our mind, senses, intelligence, everything. And when we perform that, we get prema. Prema is awakened. And when we are awakened to prema, then we can enjoy bliss. It is mentioned that a person in service to Krishna, when prema is awakened, enjoys the bliss of transcendental loving service to Krishna. Sometimes people ask the question, how can we enjoy? We are supposed to only watch Krishna enjoy. We have to serve. No. Anandamayo bhyasat. We are after enjoyment, and this is a real enjoyment. When we serve Krishna, Lord Chaitanya mentions that you will enjoy. So, that is the stage, and these ladies, they are progressed to a great extent, and they have understood. What we mean by Sambandha is knowing Krishna. The meaning of knowing Krishna means so many things. It's not just knowing Krishna is God. Yes, I read about it. That's it. A statement. That's just information. Knowledge is something greater than information. Realization is different. There is information, there is knowledge, there is realization of it. Then there is a fruit of prema. All these things, that's why it's mentioned ripened fruit of love of Godhead. You go through different stages. So all these things are possible, and we can understand the name, fame, quality and paraphernalia of the Supreme Lord. That's why it's mentioned here, is sometimes misunderstood by less intelligent persons as impersonal. So we can see that in the activities of the Lord, great personalities, they know. It's mentioned here, Shukadeva Goswami was a great personality, so he knows he was very fortunate. And all these ladies are so fortunate that they know. We can never capture the Lord by anything else but by sincere devotional service. Our devotional service that we do, we are accountable to ourselves. I was discussing this with Sureshwar Prabhu, that in the outside world they talk about accountability. Accountability to somebody above you. And all you have to do is account to him and say, I have done so and so thing as per your this thing. And you collect your salary. Or you get name, fame, glory, whatever it is. And that accountability you get used to, easy to do. But to be accountable to oneself is a more difficult job. In fact, that is internal accountability. One is external accountability, which is easy to do, which you just do with your external senses and the mind and intelligence. You have talent, you have expertise, and you just perform it and people glorify you. But internal accountability is what a spiritual personality should work at. Knowing that I am accountable as spirit soul to the Guru, to the Acharya, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there is nobody externally doing anything to you to force that accountability on you. That is the amazing way Krishna teaches you. Nobody, he simply inspires you from within the heart. And you can see Prabhupada, a very deeply sincere person, accountable to himself only. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur just told him once, twice, if you get money, print books. Go to the Western world and preach. It's good for you. You're good with English and writing. 1, 2, 3 instructions. But the way Prabhupada took it, he took it as, that's what is the moving mantra for my life. He became accountable to those brief interactions he had with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And throughout his life, he was simply meditating, I have to do this. I have to do this. Becoming accountable to the words of the Guru. And then he executed it. There was nobody to check him and say, hey, nobody is watching. What does it matter if you don't do it? We are all settled down here in the ashrams and matas here in Mayapur, in Navadvip, everything. It's enough. Prithviti Ache Jata Nagarati Gram means this. Just preach in the villages, just this, that. So Prabhupada said, no, that's not what it means. We must go and do this. He maintained a high level of personal accountability. This is what is the meaning of a devotee. In these ladies, you can see that. One becomes personally accountable to Krishna through the parampara, through the Acharya, the Guru, through the Vaishnavas. Many times Prabhupada was reminded of his accountability to his Guru. And he says that. Ordinary person speaks to him, he says, this is my Guru coming and speaking. Because he's so sensitive to what he's supposed to do in terms of his accountability. When he was distributing back to Godheads in the Chippiwada in Chennai, Delhi, you can see this place that ISKCON has acquired now. Just a crummy place on the top, and the deity's Gopuram is coming on the top in between the room, and Prabhupada was around that with his typewriter. That's where he did the Bhagavatam translation. Can't imagine, I went to that place. It's actually a little mucky place, right in the center of the busiest place in Delhi. To go through a very narrow lane inside and climb a very narrow staircase with very high steps, very uncomfortable. Prabhupada go there on top, and from there he was composing his BTG, then bringing it down. Nearby was the press. He was going and begging him, I'll give you the money, just print, please print, I'll give you the money. And that's where wild roadside cow or buffalo rammed him and he fell into the ditch. And that's where he was going out in the hot sun. And while he was distributing, somebody came and told him, Swamiji, magazines are good, but I think magazines people read and throw it off, it will disappear. Why don't you produce a book? That's better. Immediately Prabhupada, it struck him. Somebody saying this. He said, is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur coming and telling me this? And he immediately started writing Bhagavatam. He wrote the whole Bhagavat, made it into books, started trying to sell them with some agent and everybody. In this way, Prabhupada was, when he was in his family life also, he had a dream. Bhaktivedanta Sri Thakur came and told him, come, waiting for you, take sannyas and come out. And at that time also he got afraid, but he recognized this is Bhaktivedanta Sri Thakur telling me. So whenever anything happened, Prabhupada, because of his accountability and sensitivity towards the instructions, was able to immediately understand, I must do this. High sense of internal accountability. That's what makes us pure. That's what makes us devotees. That is, in the modern world, in the external parlance, is called integrity, they'll call. Being in and out the same person. Having integrity. But actually that itself is not exact expression. But I don't know what is the equivalent. But Srila Prabhupada was deeply accountable to himself and to the instructions coming from the whole parampara, from Krishna through the parampara to him. Being accountable to the instructions. This immensely purifies a person, and the execution of that. This is what is really devotional service. And that is why Prabhupada is saying, Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. This is what he related to. And he said that shloka inspired him very much to take it up and do. So these sincere expression of devotional service. Whatever people in this world may say, whatever their viewpoint may be, I have been told to do this and I have faith in that. I execute that. Not doggedly, not with like a dogma, not like, but with full faith because it is Krishna's instruction. You see, because it's Krishna's instruction. That is what is that. It sounds like fanaticism to the external world, but this is what is the meaning of faith in the mode of goodness. Determination and faith in the mode of goodness. And you can see these ladies have that. Here is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is in charge of the creation and annihilation. It is through Him only everything is manifested. They are reconnecting and they are telling themselves, this is what He is. Bringing knowledge to the fore and then connecting very clearly. So many times we have to do that in the morning when we get up. We have to reconnect. I am a spirit soul. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am connected with Him eternally. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam vam vishame bhavam budau. Kripaya tavapada pang. This is the meaning of my life, and I go about my daily activities, dovetailing them completely with His understanding. All that I do is offered to Krishna. I shall not think of anything else. I should sincerely try to perform. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai ki. In this way, a person connects deeply inside and he remains accountable to the super soul in the heart, to the Guru's instructions coming down, to the Acharya's instructions coming down. This is the meaning of life of a devotee. So when we read this, that sometimes we're thinking repeatedly, why are they saying the same prayers again and again? Different devotees keep saying the same thing. There's something about it. It's aligning yourself. Oh my Lord, you are the Lord of all the planets, the super soul of all living beings. You exist everywhere, in the sun, moon, stars, everything. You know everything. I offer my obeisances to you. Chandra, Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, everybody is your this thing. Om Sahasra Sirsha Purusha Sarasaksha Sahasrapat Sabhumin Vishwato. We glorify the Lord. Actually, what we are doing is aligning ourselves, putting our mind down and, focusing, coordinating, coordinates in space and time. This is who I am. I am your part and parcel. and you are this. Please grant me your mercy. This is knowledge. When you have knowledge of Krishna and who he is, that's what you would do. It's not that knowledge in Krishna who he is you have, and you just give a wonderful session, you speak and speak and speak. And then you cut and paste and you speak. And then you go into the internet and cut and paste and you speak. And you just vomit a lot of information. And you go back tired. And actually inside you're wondering, what did I do actually? This anybody can do. You can cut and paste from here, that lecture of this Swamiji and this lecture of that Swamiji, and cut and paste from this book and put it together and then speak it and then feel dissatisfied. Yes or no? You feel a little dissatisfied. Why? Because you did not align yourself. You didn't connect. You just gave out information, which is also good, utilizing. Somebody else may be benefiting by it, by Krishna's thing. But what about you? Right? So in anything that we do, if we are not conscious of ourselves and Krishna, you see, something is lacking. You can feel that. So that is what we render devotional service for, to awaken that feeling, love for Krishna. Then you perform out of love for Krishna, even the smallest service, it's ecstatic. Or mechanically you do volumes of service. You may finally discuss, I'm not getting any ecstasy out of it. I'm just doing it. This is why awakening your love for Krishna is your responsibility. It's not that it mechanically happens. That's why Krishna is saying, Na sadhayati mam yogo. By sadhana you cannot get me. Yatha bhaktir mamorjita. Express yourself. Awaken yourself. What do you do? Exercise your bhakti muscles. You know, you got to exercise them and awaken them and have performance through that. It's not that by intellectual expression, by mental expression, by a talent, by a sleight of the tongue alone, we can awaken bhakti. These ladies, they know that. They know who Krishna is, how he relates, and what he is. So many people could see Krishna in the battlefield, in Dwaraka and Mathura and everywhere. But each one of them related differently according to their level. When Krishna and Balaram came into the arena, in the wrestling arena, there is this beautiful description, how everybody saw him differently, according to their level of understanding, according to their devotional service, according to their realization of Krishna. So, when we read repeatedly again these prayers, we should know there is some very solid meaning behind that. The more we read, the more we try to focus, the more we try to understand, the more we render devotional service, the more we hanker to awaken our love for Krishna and express ourselves in love to our Supreme Father, then the more the muscles will become strong, the bhakti muscles, and the more you can have expression of love. Otherwise, sometimes people can get a little disappointed with their endeavor in devotional life. So this is the crux of the matter. When Krishna was present, especially he was present with these people who have awakened their love and who can feel Krishna, and they have very deep emotions when Krishna is leaving because they've awakened their love for Krishna. And maybe some others did not think so much about it when Krishna is leaving, and they officially said, thank you very much for your association, everything was nice, this much. And they feel it's okay. Why are you crying so much? I mean, what's a big deal about it? But it's because somebody else has awakened his love to a much greater extent than somebody else. So these are differences. It's not that Krishna consciousness, bhakti for Krishna, is not anything mechanical. It has got to do with you. You have to awaken. You have to learn to love Krishna. You have to be personal. Express yourself to Krishna and bring out that loving sentiment. That is what Krishna consciousness is about. That's why it's not impersonal. And the burden of that is on you. Krishna already has done everything necessary. He's even sitting in your heart. He has come so close to you, and he's done everything necessary from his side because he loves you. But love happens only when two people together express themselves in love. So Krishna is waiting. That's why Prabhupada uses the phrase, Krishna is hungry for your love. This is amazing science. Although it's got so much of knowledge, information, finally it lands up with the simple thing of learning to love the Supreme Lord. So when we read in Bhagavatam, if we miss that, that is the confidential message. The confidential thing is, Aho Bhagyam, Nanda Gopavanaukasham, Yan Mitram Paramanandam Purna Brahma Sanatanam. Aho Bhagyam, what is the great fortune of all these people, Nanda, Yashoda, everybody? What is the great fortune? Is that the Supreme Absolute Truth is crawling in their courtyard. And why? Because of Nanda Maharaja's love. Because of Yashoda Mai's love. That is the secret. That is the fortune. Because they have awakened their love to such a great extent that the Lord becomes a child and crawls round Nanda Maharaja's courtyard. Yasya linde param brahma. Shruti mitare smriti mitare bharatam bhayabitaha aham iham nandanam vande yasya linde param brahma. That some will indulge in the Shruti, some will indulge in the Smriti, some will read Mahabharata, right? But for me, I simply focus on that child who is crawling in Nanda Maharaja's courtyard. That is enough. Because Parabrahman is crawling around here. That is enough for me. So this is the secret. See, this is the conclusion of the scripture. That is why the scripture says that after repeatedly reading the scriptures, you must know Krishna is everything. That's what Krishna is saying. Vedaisya sarve rahameva vedyaha vedantakrit vedavid eva chaham. I am to be known by the scriptures. You see. Idamekam sunishpannam dhyeyo narayana sada alodhya sarvashastrani vicharyacha puna idamekam sunishpannam. After going through all the shastras, all the puranas, and thinking about vicharyacha puna, again and again deliberating on it, it has been concluded, idamekam sunishpannam dhyeyo narayana sada. It is only Narayana that you have to focus on. And in the Bhagavatam it tells you that simply develop love for Krishna. And that is why we do kirtan, we do bhajan, we do devotional service, we do arati, we, distribute books, we manage, we do the accounts, we do so many miscellaneous things. They are all meant to awaken love for Krishna. They are not ordinary activities. They are not ordinary activities. If we do that with deep connection and consciousness, this is meant for Krishna. You can see that in Prabhupada's life now. I am just researching a little bit on the beginning days of Prabhupada because we're going to celebrate the 50th anniversary. It's amazing that Prabhupada is writing in his diary every day. And he's doing nothing the whole day. Today, I did not go out. Today, I had lunch in Dr. Mishra's place. Today, income $2. Expense 0.3 cents. Today, Carl came, I gave him. Today, there were 5 people for the meeting in the evening. Like that, he writes his diary and he writes that I did not go out anywhere. He writes in his diary, whole day for 1 year. There's a whole lot of diary, even from the Jaladuta onwards he's writing. Very bad. Crossed over one of the greatest impediments by Krishna's mercy. And everywhere he says, all because of Krishna. It's all because of Gauranga's mercy. That he got $100 donation all of a sudden in the basket. And he's writing that, amazing thing happened today. I found $100 in the basket. The simple, sincere dedication of himself in all these small things that Prabhupada did. You can see what sincerely is connected with Krishna with every moment. Whether something happens or doesn't happen, he's simply waiting. By Krishna's mercy it would happen. That all the time he's completely conscious of Krishna with every small thing he's doing. Today I walked down to Dr. Mishra's house to prepare my lunch because he was staying in YMCA, Young Men's Christian Association. Sally Agarwal and Mr. Agarwal said, we don't have place in our house for you, you stay in this place. In this way he was, but he is completely surrendered. Every point of time, even in his success, even in his bad time, he is completely Krishna conscious. Connected. You see. This is the meaning of yukta. Remaining connected. So, in the Bhagavatam you can read such devotees who are connected, like the Brahmana's wives, like these Dwaraka ladies. They know nothing else but Krishna. Their life is Krishna. That's why they are called Krishna Mayi, made of Krishna. The consciousness is soaked in that. In the modern world, it's very challenging to keep ourselves focused on Krishna. At least the devotional service that we do, if we look at it in the right perspective, then we understand that through this I can awaken my love for Krishna. And if we have faith in what we do and we are present there while we do in the right consciousness, in the right connection, then everything becomes converted and awakens your love for Krishna. Then Krishna can be there in front of you and you can admire, you can see Krishna, and that is Krishna's mercy. So this is what is Krishna consciousness. Om Tat Sat Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.